He gets scheduled for approximately 2 hours of exercise a day, and that's to try and counteract some of the negative effects of being in zero gravity on the musculoskeletal system and our cardiovascular system. So that was an important aspect of every day that we're on board the station.
The crew members themselves are laboratory rats, if you will, because we have a human research program trying to understand what happens to people when they're in space for long periods of time, and so we participate in those experiments.
Obviously, I also think the space station offers an incredible laboratory. We've added additional laboratory modules during Expedition 16 and with the most recent addition on the last shuttle flight. So it's going to be, I think, a spectacular laboratory as well, and I'm excited about what the future holds for us there.
This is the command post. We have both an American laptop and a Russian laptop there.
Probably the biggest legacy of the International Space Station, I think, will be the international aspect. The fact that we're doing this internationally, it's a huge technical accomplishment, but I think the fact that we are overcoming these cultural obstacles and bringing these people together with this common goal, I think is one of the most significant aspects of the International Space Station.
I believe that human beings should expand into space. By doing that, we can learn about ourselves and make the society and the world better. By working together in a cooperative way, we can bring the world closer together. This is a great opportunity for Japan and other countries to be able to participate in a space program like the ISS.
NASA labs are the pride of the world for things that we can do, where science and engineers meet together and say, let's do the impossible, and we'll do it. Our space projects are very demanding. A person has to work maybe night and day and weekends, so when the schedule requires it, to finish something on time. I feel that the entire world is watching us and waiting for us to do our thing and to get it right. And it's a tremendous opportunity. It's also a tremendous responsibility. And it's always been pretty clear that we do this together as teams, and that it's the only way you could possibly do these amazing projects. So I think we can be very proud of what we've accomplished. We look back in history and we think this country was founded in part by a scientist, Ben Franklin, and a future president, Thomas Jefferson, who was very fond of science. And so they would be so proud and thrilled to see what our country has accomplished with science and the engineering miracles that have happened in consequence. I think they never would have guessed, but they would still be thrilled to see what's been done.
As NASA enters its 6th decade, it's time to go back to the moon. This time we'll go back not just for a few hours, not for a few days, but for good. For the good of exploration, innovation, and inspiration. For the good of humanity.
We will give NASA a new focus and vision for future exploration, to gain a new foothold on the moon, and to prepare for new journeys to the worlds beyond our own.
We, as a civilization, must explore. That's who we are. Intrinsically, that's who the human race is. We're explorers. And unless we continue to explore, we're going to falter as a civilization.
When we cease to be an exploring nation, when we cease to seek knowledge and ask questions, that's the time we will wither and die on this planet. I think it's significantly important that we look to the future.
Mars, of course, will be the next outpost. I think we'll have people living on Mars 50 years from now. What they'll be looking forward to I have no idea, but I'm sure it'll be fascinating.
I'd like to see the mission to Mars be accomplished. It's something I did some work on in making the proposal we made. I think there's a consensus that going to Mars is a worthy objective, and I'd like to see that accomplished.
Perhaps at one time in the distant past, at least some basic life forms existed on Mars and perhaps could again in the future. These things mean a lot to me. I think space is important, and I think America should continue to be in the forefront of space exploration.
No matter where you go in the world, people know what the letters NASA stand for. They say NASA, and they say it with recognition. That in of itself tells you that NASA stands for something in the world, not just in America, but across the world.
Throughout all human history, we've always had people look up and think, you know, the blue sky, what is it up there? Gee, I wonder what it'd be like if we could go up there. In our time, our lifetimes, we've gone up there. You know, here we are, developed that kind of a capability in our time. What a great time to be alive.
The future of mankind depends upon space travel. If we stay on Earth, we'll go on having wars. But if we go to the moon and Mars, we'll bind ourselves together into one single race, one color, and go into space and live forever.